Welcome to the sixth lesson, How to Start a Painting by Gianluca Rotelli. We start straight away, and I'm going to show you at the left side of the screen how to draw an eye in a 3/4, and I'm going to explain you why it's a really significant thing. When you see someone paint, I may watch the top of the iceberg. You don't know what's going on underneath. Nobody explains these things, and it's a shame because I would like to understand in a deep way, not just the surface of the argument. On the top right side of my drawing, you can see the top of the lid, and on the bottom, the lower eyelid. Also, I enlarged the image of the shape of the lid. There is a plane, seems a road with a curve, and on top there is a group of people are walking and are following the direction of the curve. In a reverse way, on the top of the lid, there is a group of people are climbing on a curved street upside down, and it looks like a part below a bridge. And even if it is disappeared in the shadow, I may keep in some part of my mind that the form below the right side of the top of the lid is like I show you in the sketch. In according what I said, I take cadmium red light, gray and white, and I draw the purple light over the bottom of the lid. Okay, great. Let me go back at the features, and I take gray and I mix with the white, and I'm going to readjust the shape of the iris and the border from white and the lid. Also, with Ivory black, I reconfirm the contour of the eye until the tear duct. It's an excellent idea. Have a balance from atmosphere and drawing. When I say drawing, it's mean contour of the figure without shadow. Okay? I attempt to figure out the tear duct, and I take cadmium red light and a bit of gray, and I paint a tiny tear duct. As far as I remember, when I was beginner, I couldn't paint correctly the eye because I thought that colors were more important than drawing, and it was a mistake. Often I say to my students, you should able to paint like you drawing, or the level of drawing should be better than your level of oil technique. Therefore, if you don't really understand the theory of colors at the beginning, it doesn't matter. What is really important is the strategy that allowed to me understand the drawing. Okay? This is the most important thing. I continue to mix raw umber and gray, and I have a neutral color of the shadow and apply it on the right side of the face. Neutral color can be gray brown or gray blue and gray green. The variation of the temperature and the hue of the color of the shadow can be really subtle. And if you know how to manage, you may improve your sense of colors. Especially when you have to establish if the color that you see in the shadow has a tendency to be blue, green or gray. As far as I'm concerned, to follow classical rules. I don't invent anything regarding colors, and if I don't know how to do something, I will pay attention at the colors of the nature. I'm continuing to use my gray, reddish middle tone, and I go from the dark to the light, and I turn in the form of zygomatic bone. This passage of my work in progress, it's a bit difficult because in a few brush strokes I may blend many patches. At the main time I want to remove all the paint marks around the zygomatic bone. Furthermore, with the filbert brush, I may redraw the lower part of the eyelid. When I'm fine with the color, I want to rotate the shape in a clockwise direction across the cheekbone. I can add cerulean blue and yellow Naples to get a green tonality of color. And with the same brush I do the transition. And I blend the border of the color. With Ivory black, I may paint the eyebrow over the bone and the orbicularis oculis muscle. be careful, pay attention. I don't paint just black mark. So I paint the eyebrow over a mountain, okay? And as you can see, I'm turning the brushstroke on the right side across the bony orbit and I go down. And finally, with a tiny brush, I smooth and I blend all differences from one area to another. And even I reduce the outline of the right side of the face. I hope that you notice that any action that I'm going to do correspond at many thoughts. Okay, it's just not an accident. And also when I do something that it looks easy but it doesn't, I mix 2 or 3 concepts together. I did a really dark color of the shadow and I had more black, and I want to emphasize the contrast, but the main time I want to keep the difference from the black of the hair and the eyebrow. And after I do a middle tones in between dark shadow and middle tones in the light to simplify and reduce heavy passage from the dark to the light. And also I try to fill the form of the bony orbit behind the light. Even I do the transition from inside of the bony orbit into the shadow or below the eyebrow. Okay, excellent. Thank you for watching me, and we are at the end of the lesson. See you at the next one.